Today, I'll be explaining to you two reference points that pregnant women they normally like to calculate, and that is the gestational age of the fetus inside their womb and the estimated due date, the day that they are going to have a baby, the estimated date. And I want you to begin to think, assuming there's a woman who has come to you, who is your friend, maybe you met her in the antenatal clinic and she's telling you, help me to calculate my gestational age, or she met you somewhere in a function, help me to calculate my gestational age and my estimated due date. Or perhaps it's you and you are planning a certain event, you are planning to attend a certain event and you want to calculate it, or maybe probably you want to know for one reason or the other. Then just guess how you are going to calculate it. In this case scenario, we have a woman whose last menstrual period. The last menstrual period is the easiest means of calculating it, and that is why I'll just keep it just at the level of the last menstrual period. And almost every woman knows that. So this particular woman that we are going to be looking at her case today had her last menstrual period on the 24th of November 2024. 24th of November 2024. And that means that the first day of her last menstrual period, that's the reference date that we normally use, the first day of her last menstrual period that is started, that's the one we are going to use. So, and that was 24th of November 2024. So we want to use it to calculate our gestational age, the gestational age of the baby, and the estimated due dates. So let's just guess what we can do. Now I'm going to uncover it so that you can see. So this is how to calculate it. Now from 24th of November to the end of the month of November, there are 30 days in November. So from 24th to 30th, we have 7 days. The whole of December, the next month, we have 31 days. You write it. The whole of January, we have 31 days. You write it. The whole of February, you have 28 days. You write it. The whole of March, 31 days. The whole of April, 30 days. The whole of May, that is today, assuming she met you today, in a function or in the hospital. So today's date is May 9th. So we are making reference to today's date, May 9th. So today now, we have spent, in the month of May, we have spent 9 days. So to know the gestational age in days, we are going to add all these days together. 7, 31, 31, 28, 31, 30, and 9. 7, 31, 31, 28, 31, 30, and 9. By the time you add everything, it sums up to 167 days. If you are happy with having it in days, it's all right. But if you are not happy, you want to change it to weeks, then you can have 23 weeks and 6 days. That is what it's going to give you. 23 weeks and 6 days. That will be the gestational age of the baby. The gestational age of your own baby might be shorter than this, but just follow this same method. Just know the number of remaining days in the first month that you saw your last menstrual period. That month, then the subsequent months in between, then this present month, the number of days that you have spent, you just add it, and that is what will give you this. And you now change it to weeks. So in this case now, the woman can conveniently say that I am 23 weeks gone, 23 weeks and 6 days gone. And because it's roughly, she might also say 24 weeks, because another 7 days will be completed tomorrow to make it 24 weeks. Actually, it is going to be tomorrow that is going to be 24 weeks. So she can say that she's 24 weeks gone. That is for gestational age. There are different methods of determining the gestational age. One method is the fundal height measurement. Fundal height measurement, and they measure it from the bone that is just down beyond below your bladder. That is the pubic symphysis. I don't want to bother with you with that, but just know this one, that this is what you want to know. This is the easiest one that you can know. So then you measure it to the fundus of the uterus. You sort of gently press your tummy and you see where the bulge ends. Then from the tape down, as from 20 weeks, it is reliable. Anything you measure from 20 weeks in centimeters, if you measure 25 centimeters after 20 weeks, after your pregnancy must have reached 20 weeks, if you measure 25 centimeters, then know that the gestation age of your baby is 25 weeks. So if you measure 24 centimeters, know it is 24 weeks. If you measure 27 centimeters, know it is 27 weeks, up till 36 weeks. At the 37th week, the pregnancy drops inside the tummy. The pregnancy drops inside the tummy, so you won't have that. It drops by about 4 centimeters. Anyways, another way of knowing the gestational age is your doctor can use the ultrasound to help you to determine the gestational age. Now, very important thing that every pregnant woman should have is a pregnancy tracking app. Write it down. A pregnancy tracking app. When you have a pregnancy tracking app will monitor everything that is happening in the life of your baby, every required thing that you need to know, and all the necessary steps that you need to take during pregnancy. A pregnancy tracking app will tell you all those ones. So you need a pregnancy tracking app. In fact, that is just what you will search. Just search on your Apple Store or Play Store. That's what is pregnancy tracking app, and it's going to bring it out to you. So you just sign in and you submit all the necessary details. So every day it is able to give you the gestational age of your baby, and it will always give you your estimated due date as well. Now let us look at the estimated due dates. How to calculate the estimated due date. We use the most common one is the Nigel's rule, and it's very simple. The Nigel's rule states that you add 1 year, and this is, you add 1 year, you subtract 3 months, and you add 7 days. 3 steps. You add 1 year, you subtract 3 months, and you add 7 days to give you the estimated due date of your baby. This is normally used when the baby is likely to come the next year. If you are pregnant anytime after maybe April or March, then it means your baby will come most likely the next year. So, and that is when you use this method. Now, I'm going to teach you how to use this method. Then when it falls within the same year, I will teach you. Now, this one, we are looking at somebody whose last menstrual period was 24th of November 2024, meaning that she cannot have a baby in December last year. She cannot have a baby she couldn't have a baby last year. So it has to be this year. So the reference now would be, we need to add 1 year. So that instead of 24/11/2024, we have 24/11/2025. So when you have 24/11/2025, then you subtract 3 months. That will make it 24/8/2025. Don't forget, 11 is November. When you subtract 3 from 11, it gives you 8. So minus 3 months will be 24/8/2025. Now you now go to your calendar. This 24/8, you now count 7 days ahead of it. So you have 31/8/2025. And that is what is going to be your estimated due date. That will be 31/8/2025. That is 31st of August 2025. Now, let us look at if, for example, Maybe you were pregnant. There are different variations of the 9 girls rule. Maybe you were pregnant in January. Maybe you were pregnant in January. So this is what you do. Maybe you are pregnant. Maybe you are pregnant in January, or and you noticed that your last menstrual period was maybe 8th of January. 8th of January. So in that wise, January is the first month. So in that wise, you add 9. You add 9. That will be in October. 1 plus 9, that will be 10. So that will be 8. Now, so once you have that, that will be, then you don't need to subtract any 3. So you just add 7 to it. So that will be 8th of October. So since you now know, you don't need to subtract 3 months again. So you just add 7 to it, and that will be 15. So you just add to it, and that will be 15. So, and that is it. So it's so easy, but this one is just very straightforward. It's very straightforward for people who anticipate that they are going to have that they're going to put to bed in the following year. It is always better to add 1 year so that you can have the next year as a reference. So also the estimated due date, you can calculate the estimated due date by using the scan, and it is very reliable when you do it anything between the 7th and the 13th week. The scan is very reliable. When you do it early enough, you can calculate it. Then you can also calculate it using something we call the pregnancy wheel, or the estimated due date wheel. It's like a protractor. It has a circle, then a circle inside. So when you turn the circle inside, you turn the arrow in the circle inside to correspond with the dates of your last menstrual period. So the circle inside has been calibrated so that it will show you, it will point exactly to the estimated due date. It has already been calibrated to show 9 months. So in the bigger protractor, it's going to show you the estimated due date there on the bigger protractor. So and that is it. So you can also use apps, like I told you. You can use apps to calculate your estimated due date as well. And that is it. So feel free now and calculate your own. So calculate your own now. What do you think it is? And try and plan ahead. Then I must say something. You see, there are certain times during the pregnancy that you can use this gestational age to determine certain things. There are certain things, I think I will still do that in another video. You see, there was this woman, there was a time, she was a first timer. The baby was kicking inside her womb. And normally, anything from about 16 weeks to 25 weeks, or maybe 16 to 20 weeks, the baby will start kicking. The baby inside the woman will start kicking. And she was a first timer, and she had sex with her husband, and she was so troubled when she saw that the baby was, something was kicking. And she said this thing, and it's not only kicking, the baby can move, a baby can turn, a baby can stretch inside somebody. So, and that was what was happening. She never knew that there are milestones like that. So maybe sometimes in the very near future, I'll be able to talk about that. The movements of the baby inside the womb, stretching, turning, kicking, all those things. So so she was disturbed until, she asked that question. And that is it. Thank you for listening. God bless you.